there was one day before I knew of the Bible, and I was like, okay, the only way I can explain it, I was taken out of my body. Like I was on my bed and I was seeing these things circling around me like they normally do when I'm trying to sleep at that time. Won't let me sleep. And for whatever reason, I just got pulled out of my body. And imagine you're in a room and it has a TV screen on the floor, on the ceiling, and on all the walls. You're surrounded by these hyper HD TV screens. It's hard to explain, but imagine that. Mm-hmm. But you can also smell, you can also hear. It's not just the TV, it's like everything. All your senses are plugged in. And you're kind of outside of physical realm, so you're kind of looking at this stuff unfolding around you, and you're watching these events happen in time, right? And I was like, I didn't know what I was seeing, but I remember I saw the planes hit the towers. Remember I saw that. And then after that, it was like, that was like a trigger. And then after that, there was just this cascade of death. And it was just more and more death. And then eventually there was this giant mushroom cloud over, I think, New York, right? And that's what I saw. And I remember like feeling that, like seeing people die and like being there. And it was extremely traumatizing. It wasn't like a dream or anything. It was like you were there, and you were witnessing it, and you were like, you know what I mean? Very traumatizing. Like, and I got put back in my body after I saw this, and I was freaking out for like 2 weeks after this. I'm not even kidding you. Like it really messed with my mind. Never happened to me anything like that. I didn't know why. I didn't know what it meant until I read Revelation 17, because Revelation 17 was what I saw. That's exactly what I saw, and because it talks about the explosions going up over Babylon, the giant clouds of smoke, things like that. It'll all be destroyed in fire in 1 hour. You know, like extremely quickly, there's just going to be this massive destruction that will hit America. Like all the pride and all the sin that's built up in this place, it's just going to go up in smoke all of a sudden. Massive death.
Would you say that you had a prophetic vision?
I don't know, man. Like, it was real. I'll put it that way.
You tend to be super humble about these things, but
because I don't like those, you know, like holy labels and things like that. You know what I mean? People get too caught up in that.
It's not. I mean, I definitely feel you on that. You know, I try to stay away from my ego as much as possible too. But what I'm leading to is has nothing to do with the ego battle or anything like that. It has everything to do with when you're telling me these things. I'm seeing God literally piecing this chain of something to you that keeps leading you to one thing after another after another. These are by far not any coincidences, man. And
yeah, it wasn't a dream. It was like I was wide awake in my bed, and then I was pulled out of my body. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I at the time I thought it was some demonic torture. I was like, why are you showing me this? What, you know, why did I see that? But only later I realized what it was, that it was actually the same thing that John was, because what I realized, right, when you get out of 3D world, timeline is one thing. You know what I mean? Like in the 4D realm, you can look at time in one thing from the beginning to the end. You can see the whole thing once you're outside of your body. You can see the beginning, you can see the end. And all the prophets, when they were taken and shown something, they saw little pieces of that timeline. And a lot of them would speak about the same thing. They would just give more details about it. You know what I mean? So it's only one series of events that's going to happen. There's not multiple timelines that are going to happen. There's one way it's going to be. It's not going to happen any other way. And I was just glimpsing that little piece there. And I think you're right. I think I was supposed to see that because it confirmed later, you know, for me, the validity of the scripture.
Listen, I never ever ever dismiss any of these things. Even my, I don't want to call it a rap name because I think it's a name when I kill off my ego completely and become um, what God has given me, this name NazareN, because I had like one of these experiences that you're talking about, and it was completely given to me, this name, and I will never share that particular experience because at that moment I promised myself never to speak about it and kind of keep it sacred. But you, my friend, you're definitely being given something so precious beyond any imagination that I could conjure. I'm just like so. I'm literally just. I'm like in an all moment right now because as you're telling me these things and all these pieces are falling in front of me. After you had this experience, how long after that did you come across Revelation 17?
Probably 6 months to a year,
And
something
when
like that.
when you came across it, were you like, like did it right away take you back to that experience?
Yeah, like, I instantly thought of that. Yeah.
Babylon and the prostitute and the beast. One of the seven angels who had the seven bowls came and said to me, "Come, I will show you the punishment of the great prostitute who sits by many waters." So basically, this is what you were reading before. Then the angels carried me away in a spirit into the wilderness. There I saw a woman sitting in a scarlet beast, and that was covered with blasphemous names and had seven heads and 10 horns. The woman was dressed in purple and scarlet and was glittering with gold, precious stones, and pearls. She had a golden cup in her hand filled with abominable things and the filth of her adulteries. The name written in her forehead was a mystery. It's very interesting because all the time in my lyrics, whenever I talked about a sellout or things like that, I always referred to a whore or a prostitute, man. And now it's like you're saying these things, man.
And it even tells you, right, all the nations of the earth have laid with this kingdom. I mean, it's where, what else could this apply to? I mean, it's talking about Americanization, globalization. You see what I'm saying? Every culture on earth has sold out their own culture and absorbed, they've they've sold out with this whore.
Yo, this makes so much freaking sense now, man. All these things is
Well, read verse 9.
you don't even imagine how blessed I feel right now, man. You coming into my life, man, freaking, and just blessing me with these things, man. I mean, God definitely speaks through you, man. Verse 9, this calls for a mind with wisdom. The seven heads are seven hills on which the woman sits. That's what you were talking about?
And read that, but I'm kind of leading up to something. So read that, and
There are also seven kings. Five have fallen. One is, the other had not yet come. But when he does come, he must remain for only a little while. The beast who once was and now is not is an eighth king.
hold on. Sorry to cut you, but
No, please, man.
well, I'm trying to show you something. So you got to go to verse sorry.
No, please, man. Take yours.
Read verse 7, right?
Verse 7. Okay. Then the angel said to me, "Why are you astonished? I will explain to you the mystery of the woman and of the beast she rides, which has the seven heads and 10 horns."
Okay, so 7 heads, right? Remember that, 7 heads. Now read verse 9.
This calls for a mind with wisdom. The seven heads are seven hills on which the woman sits.
Okay, so this beast with 7 heads,
Hmm.
okay, how many, have you ever heard of the hills of Rome?
Yes, absolutely.
How many hills?
7 hills.
You see?
Holy shit, man. How about F?
See, the Bible explains itself.
Yo, I'm tripping out right now, man. I'm like literally tripping out right now, man.
I'll show you something else too. Read so it's got 7 heads, right? 10 horns. Verse 7. 10 horns, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna explain the horns. Read verse 16.
Verse 16. The beast and the 10 horns you saw will hate the prostitute. They will bring her to ruin and leave her naked. They will eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
Okay. So
For God has put it into their hearts to accomplish his purpose by agreeing to him.
sorry, I gave you the wrong verse. Verse 12.
Verse 12. The 10 horns you saw are 10 kings who have not yet received the kingdom, but who for 1 hour will receive authority as kings along with the beast.
Okay, so it's giving you, again, it's kind of explaining the symbolism, right? So this beast had 7 heads, which is where the woman sits. 7 heads, 7 hills of Rome.
Mm-hmm.
Now the horns represent 10 kings within this beast, which have no kingdom yet, but in the future they'll receive power, right? So first, before these aspiring horns can receive dominion, they destroy the whore. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So the whore rides the beast, right? The beast is Rome. What ends up happening? The horns of the beast end up destroying the whore because they're jealous of her, right? So Rome orchestrates the demise of America in order for final Roman Empire to rise out of the ashes. You see? That's why they get 1 hour with, they receive no kingdom yet, as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. So after the horns destroy America, and I'll show you who they are, there's 10 kingdoms in the Western Europe. There's 10 kingdoms in Western Europe. There's like 1 in Switzerland, 2 in France, 1 in Britain, Spain. There's 10. And you can kind of argue, you can get a different number. Maybe if some of them are kind of confusing, like they split their kingdom and they're not unified, but there's 10 kingdoms in Western Europe. Hold on, let me show you.
Holy schmoly, man. What the F? Yo.
It's like Western Europe will re-emerge as the new Roman Empire once America's out of the picture, once they've used her for what they need.
EU, man.
Yeah.
Fuck. And 1 hour is how long would you put that?
I don't know. I think it's explaining that it's not that long.
So basically, well, let's go back to your previous video. One day, let's just speculate. 1 day is 1,000 years. 24 hours in a day. Okay. Oh my God, man. Ten kingdoms.
Yeah, I'll show you that. I gotta find it. There's a Wikipedia article even about it, that there's literally 10 there's 10 ancient monarchies in Western Europe that all come from the Holy Roman Empire. You know, like it's you see what it you know, you see what I'm saying, right? About all this. Oh, I think I found it. Here it is. Okay, I'll do a screen share. Hold on. Okay, you see that?
Yes, sir. Let me put it up. Okay, yeah. So like I thought, Denmark, Norway. Um, what else we have here? Deutschland, of course. Netherlands, United Kingdom, España. Um, I can't see what that's. Okay, so basically there are a couple within. What is that little one? Okay, so it's Switzerland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Holy moly, man! 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll look right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Holy shit, man! Yo, where the heck did you get this freaking map where it has each country like the way
Yeah.
it's written in the native language? Like you got Cyrillic for.
I don't even know. I forgot. See, I took a screenshot of the page. I don't know where I even got it.
Yo, you got the coolest shit, man. I swear, man. Oh my god. Yo, this is awesome, man. This is freaking awesome. Would you